The points leader finds himself out front with 3 laps remaining, maybe on his way to his 3rd victory of the year. What a huge momentum builder this would be for the Australian rider. One of the grittiest racers you'll find anywhere in the world. Never gives up, has not given up tonight, has been pushing Stewart, and finds himself in a tremendous opportunity to give himself some distance in the points.
Wow, Ralph, I'm telling you, Chad Reed, so mentally strong.
There's Mike Gosler, his mechanic, saying you're up by 9. He is 9.7 seconds last time by. He's got to keep pushing. He's got to watch out for the traffic. That could have been very costly there as he got awful close to Ryan Sykes. The gap this time by across the finish line jump. Let's see what it was. Reed has already passed. Where is Stewart? 10.1. Reed actually gained time on that last lap. He ran a 48.6. Stewart a 49.0, Jeff.
Yeah, I think it's inconceivable to think that without a major mistake by Chad Reed that Stewart is going to be able to win this main event here. I'm telling you, he had this thing in the bag. Chad Reed keeps applying the pressure as he's done all year. And, you know, Chad Reed has had a whole string of second-place finishes behind James Stewart. He's played second fiddle a bunch, but yet he's gotten those seconds. He's not made any major mistakes in this championship. 8
times this year, Chad Reed has finished second. If he's not second, he's the winner. And don't forget, 100% of the time that James Stewart has not crashed, he's won. Tonight, crashed 3 times. Twice in his heat race and once in the main event, which might be the most costly one of the night. Now Reed trying to get around Josh Hill, and that's the kind of thing that can really cost you.
Hill actually just got his lap back from Chad Reed. Chad was very patient when he was around the blue bike there and just let him go. The crowd here in St. Louis
really cheered him on, Jeff. You can hear him in the background. Final lap. Mike Gosler says thanks. Yeah. Here we go. Towards the checkered flag. Chad Reed. One more corner to go, and he has done it. Chad Reed, his 3rd win in the 2009 season. And the points leader extends his lead over James Stewart. What an incredible night for Stewart. It looked like he was going to win another one, but instead he ends up on the ground, and Chad Reed goes to the podium. Here's the results. Wow, is this going to make things even more interesting in this championship? James Stewart gained 3 points last week with his win. Gives him right back by finishing second here this week. 5 rounds to go as we look through the rest of the top 20. And Aaron, this is going to be an interesting podium tonight.
Wow, indeed it is. James Stewart is frustrated, to say the least, and rightfully so. James, can you tell us what exactly took place when you crashed?
You know, I had the race to myself, and you know, just made a small mistake and went into neutral and didn't know it till I was on the face, and you know, went over the bars. But you know, I was able to recover and you know, keep the points lead in sight. And man, I just give this guy victories every weekend. But you know, you know, he's riding really good and he's earning them. And you know, I just got to try my best. You know, I really am trying. You know, I just got to thank Samuel, Yamaha, you know, everybody. You know, they're sticking behind me. These last 4 weeks have been pretty tough. You know, we winning on the ground, but you know, we'll come back, and I'm going to make sure it goes to Vegas and just try my best.
Congratulations on your hard charge and pulling it all together.
Well, I think James is right about this. This is going to go to Vegas. That first weekend in May, and speed will be there. Sam Boyd Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. That's where the championship will be decided. Here it is, 11, as we get ready to go north into Canada to the Rogers Center for the next of those 5 final rounds. And remember, it's 3 points difference between first and second. So it should be a wild one, Aaron.
Well, guys, Josh Grant put in an Ironman effort this evening. And this week, Josh, you kind of took some time off and it just sort of rejuvenated, have fun. How big of a difference does it make when you take all that pressure off your shoulders?
You know, it makes a big difference, and I'm excited. You know, I just took last week and, you know, recovered. I had a few big crashes, you know, before Daytona and at Daytona. So, and I'm glad to be up here. You know, Toyota and Yamaha, Joe Gibbs Racing, everyone that's helped us out, no fear. You know, I couldn't have done it without these guys, and I'm just glad to be up here.
Great job out there tonight. Congratulations.
Speed TV.
Victory of the season for Chad Reed. Chad, tonight you had a little bit of a gift handed to you, but ultimately today, this track really suited your style.
No, it was a lot of fun, you know, and you just had to be smart and ride it for what it was. And I got a great start in my heat and messed that one up in the main, so I was a little bummed on that. But I made great passes at the beginning, and you know what? The fastest guy doesn't always win, and you got to be solid. You got to be there every weekend. I want to thank everybody on the Rockstar Makita Suzuki team. The bike was awesome. He raced the thing as it come on the truck, and just everybody, Parts, Thor, Scott, Bridgestone, and my wife Ellie. Thanks.
So once again, the points chase takes a twist.
It definitely has, and Chad Reed has shown that he is mentally strong enough to take this championship. Can James